Welcome back, everyone. In this video, our goal is to demonstrate how to use the erase tool when working with landscapes. With this tool, we can rub our brush over the landscape to return the height map back to its default value. Now, between videos, I did add a light mass importance volume from our place mode volumes tab. You can see it in the world outliner, and I gave it these brush settings to surround my landscape. It is that yellow box back there that you might see. So after I did that, I then built the lighting, and that is why all of my dark lines are now missing. Now, I also commented in the last video about how kind of washed out the lighting looked. Everything looked a little bit brighter and not as well defined as I wanted it to. If you come under your view modes right up here, and I turn off the game's exposure game settings, that'll just darken things up a little bit, and hopefully things will read a little bit better as I am sculpting my landscape. So just something I'm doing here temporarily. Okay, now let's jump on over to the erase tool. Come back under landscape mode because we can't sculpt unless we are in landscape mode. Make sure that we are in sculpt mode. And in our list of tools, let's work our way on down from the sculpt tool to the erase tool. Now, like our sculpt tool, we've got a brush size. You can see it out there in the landscape, as well as a brush fall off and tool strength. One thing I should also mention here is you don't actually have to move this slider back and forth to change your brush slide. If you have clicked in a viewport, and you must have clicked in a viewport first, you can use the left bracket to shrink your brush size by 5%. The right bracket will increase your brush size by 5% with every tap. So handy trick there. Now the erase tool will simply return your landscape back to its default height. All you need to do here is left click, and you see those black lines come back. That's why I mentioned not to obsess about them. And as I rub it over my landscape, it returns it all back to its default height. Now, you're seeing that this takes a little while for me to rub over everything given my brush size. I could increase my brush size to its max here and go like this, or if I really wanted to be heavy-handed about it, I could left click on my brush size, do 67,000, enter, that'll make it the max size, and then if I left click, boom, taking a little time to register here. It's not lagging, it's lagging for me too. And I just destroyed that entire swath of landscape. Now, I did not destroy this just yet. Let me set this back to its default size. You do have tool strength here as well. So if I was to set this to a very small number of, say, like 0.05 and left click over this, I will return it back to its default setting. It's just probably a little bit slower than if I set it to 1, which makes it rather immediate. So guys, erase tool, a fairly new tool, but rather handy to have indeed. Whoops, missed a spot. All right, guys, that will do it all for this one. But before we end this, let's go ahead and save this level because we currently have not saved it. Let's save it under our landscapes maps, and I'll call this map_sculpting. And let's click save. And let's do one more thing. If you were to close out of your Unreal Engine and open it back up, we would not come straight to this map. We need to set which map we come to by default. Now we're going to be coming to this map rather frequently over these next few videos because this is our sculpting playground. So under our project settings, which you can find under settings, project settings, let's go to maps and modes. And under here, our editor startup map, let's change this to be map sculpting. And so if you were to close out of your Unreal Engine and open it back up, this would be the map that we would come to first. No save button or anything here. No save button at all. All right, guys, that'll do it all for this video. Hope you learned how to use the erase tool. Pretty simple tool. See you in the next video.